Hello, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. I make videos for NBA. I make videos for NFL. All these videos they get posted on this subreddit right here. It's called DF Sports. You can find my posts with my username Shook right here. I make updates with all the news that comes out throughout the day. All the news. As you can see, I even updated for the Lakers game. You can ask me questions about the slate, anything you need. I guess I forgot to reply to you, Truffles. Apologize about that if you see this. But you can ask me questions. I'll always reply to you. Stuff like that. So check that out. That'll be linked down below. And if you ever need to get a hold of me privately, you can do so right here on Twitter. So let's go over my recap from the night. So first we'll go over Showdown, then we'll go over main slate. And then, by the way, if you are interested in joining my Discord, where I have, in-depth content going over each slate, player pools for cash and tournaments, whole bunch of stuff, that'll be linked down below. I just have to shout out people from tonight. We had just huge nights everywhere. 18 into $300. Nice win there. Just what? $82 into $700 tonight. Nice win there. Just huge. Cam made $1. He's rich. Nice win there. Second place there. Little win there. $2,500 win there. Huge night here. We just had a massive night tonight, and I'll go over my lineups in a second. This is my Showdown lineup I chopped, so broke even on Showdown, but main slate. So I go small on Sundays for NBA because I prioritize NFL on Sundays, which was a massive disaster tonight. But my big stand for this slate, and it was a huge stand, was Cam Reddish. Playing Cam Reddish over Chalk, Torian Prince at the same price point. Torian Prince was projected for like 40% ownership, and he was like 40% in this contest, or 30%. So what I did, I told everyone in Discord, I like Reddish over Prince. It wasn't because Reddish is better than Prince, it's because they're almost exactly the same producers, and Reddish was projected to be much lower owned. So whenever you have someone that's going to project similar, Reddish actually projected worse than Prince, but if it's by like, half a point, I'm always just going to go with the lower owned guy. I think that's a very important lesson that I think people need to do more often is, you don't have to do it every time, but if a fringe player like Prince, Reddish, they project similar, but one guy's getting all of the ownership, just always play the lower owned guy. And it worked out massively tonight. Now, Prince could have been the one who nuked, and I would have probably not made as much money as I did tonight. Absolutely could have happened, but what was I going to say? It ended up working out. It ended up working out massively for us. We all played Reddish, and we all played Rui. Rui was the best play on the slate. I told everyone I thought Rui started. He started, only 20% owned. He was one of the best plays on the slate. And I told everyone in Discord, we're loading up on this Lakers game. And that's what I did. My core today was this Lakers game. It was D'Lo, smash. Skylar Mays, smash. Anthony Davis, smash. And Bradley Beal. He was a bit underwhelming, but did good enough. And then I had an unowned Dyson Daniels, absolutely nuke. Didn't really play the fourth. I had Jeremy Grant. He had a horrible game until that fourth quarter. And then Rui Hashimura. And then I guess you could call Cam Reddish a core play for me as well, because I told everyone Cam Reddish over Prince. So core absolutely nuked. Had a huge day. People in Discord had huge days. It was just a great day overall. NFL didn't go so great, so not up massively on the day, but it was a good day. It was a good day. So let's go over this 4-game slate. We're going to make this quick. So this game pace-wise, defensively, doesn't seem too great for fantasy, but it is a 4-game slate, so we're going to have to consider everyone. Brunson Randall, I'm fine with either. I think there are price points on other teams that I'd rather play. Like I think I'd rather play like Scotty or Siakam over both Randall and Brunson right now in this specific matchup. So Brunson, Randall, they're more of contrarian options to me. But good thing with them is they are going to stuff the stat sheet. They're their clear go-to guys right now. I don't mind either. I don't love the spot, but I think I'd rather play the Toronto guys over them, who we'll talk about in a minute. But Bronson and Randall, they're both fine. RJ Barrett has a ceiling if he's hitting his shots, but the floor is a bit low. I don't love the price point, but he's always playable. It's a 4-game slate, and he does have a ceiling. Mitchell Robinson at 5'8". I mean, as long as he stays out of foul trouble, should play low 30s minutes, and he does have this type of ceiling. Once again, don't love the spot going up against Boston, but he's always in play for me on these smaller slates because the ceiling is there. He's almost 6K though, which is not great. Quickly at 5'5" is a bit overpriced for my liking, but another guy that has a ceiling, it's fine. And then Josh Hart, Dante, I think are a bit overpriced as well. So hard to get to any of them. And then if you think Mitchell Robinson gets into like foul trouble going up against Boston, you could play an Isaiah Hartenstein. Wish the price was cheaper, but if Mitch gets in foul trouble, Hartenstein will be the guy to benefit from it. Good point per minute in play for large field tournaments. Quentin Grimes, I'm not going to play, and don't love much else here on the Knicks. Let's move on to Boston. So I like the price points here. I just wish the matchup was better. Like Tatum at 10K does feel a tad bit too cheap. So I think Tatum's interesting. I just don't like the spot. Like Porzingis at 7.6. That seems like a pretty good price point, but once again, don't love the spot. Brown's fine. Drew Holiday. I think the guards and Porzingis are once again probably my favorites point per dollar. Like Derek White, probably going to play, I don't know, 30 plus minutes. He's about a fantasy point per minute guy, so 5'9", seems solid. Drew Holiday at 6'9", seems priced about right. So I guess my favorite plays here would be Derek White and Kristaps Porzingis. Have some interest in Brown, have some interest in Tatum. And then I'm not going to play 5K Al Horford. You're going to see some Sam Hauser run. If you do think Boston does blow this game out, you could look to a Peyton Pritchard. It is viable on this small of a slate. I don't mind that. But you probably do need the game to blow out for that to work. He is a good point per minute guy. Boston's really, really good, so I thought I'd mention that. He'll be in the rotation anyway, but if the game blows out, he'll probably crush in a blowout. Just thought I mentioned that there. But I like the price points. I just wish the matchup was better. And Washington needs to stop with these rotations, man. They just need to stop. Like, what are we doing here? I don't understand what we're doing here with the rotations with the Wizards. Like, Kuzma doesn't come in until 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter in this game, in a close competitive game up against Charlotte. Like, what are we doing? I don't understand. 30 minutes in a competitive game up against Brooklyn. Jordan Poole, same thing. Tyus Jones got his minutes absolutely cooked tonight. Koulibaly had a huge game. We have DeLon Wright out. I just don't know what to do with this team. I really, really don't. They're all tournament plays for me in a tough spot. Hard to prioritize any. I guess my favorite and probably the safest will be Kyle Kuzma at 8-3, who's going to lead the way offensively for this team. Good rebounder. I mean, it's just disgusting. Denny's been playing well. He's been playing huge minutes. I think he's pretty safe if he continues to get this much run. We know he's a guy that can stuff the stat sheet, but not much stands out to me here. Hard to trust Tyus with his minutes. Koulibaly, I mean, he's going to get decent run anyway. He'll play in a blowout as well. So I guess Koulibaly is actually a solid value. We don't have a ton of value on this slate, so I guess I do like Koulibaly for value. DeLon's right out. DeLon Wright is out. You're probably going to see some more run for like Landry Shamet. I don't mind him at 3-5. I think that's okay. But this Washington team is it's disgusting. All right, Toronto, probably one of my favorite teams to target on this slate. So we're going to have to monitor the Gary Trent news. If he's in, if he's out, it's going to be more run for OG, but OG is going to play a ton anyway. So I love Scotty Barnes here at 9K up against Washington. My only concern here is the risk of a blowout, but I absolutely love Scotty. I really like Siakam. I like both the top two guys here quite a bit, and I even like Dennis Schroeder and OG. Especially if Trent's out for OG. It's just a really, really good spot here. Dennis Schroeder should play big minutes. He's been doing really, really well handling the ball for Toronto. OG going to play huge minutes. Good defender. Get defensive stats. I think he's solid, especially if Trent's out. Jakob Poeltl with Precious back is going to lose a bit of minutes. These two guys are going to split the center minutes, so I do prefer the price point on Precious, actually. Viable value. Chris Boucher, he'll get some run. Don't love it with Precious back, though. And you're going to see some Otto Porter viable for like 150 max, 20 max. But I'm really, really high on these three, especially for Toronto tomorrow. I really like this Toronto team. Chicago and Milwaukee, so another like meh matchup, but you guys know what I'm going to say here. Levine, Vooch, DeRozan, I think they're all in play. I always just prefer Levine, but Vooch, DeMar, Levine, they're all fair plays. Don't love the spot up against Milwaukee. If I had to pick one, like I said, Levine, but they're all in play for me. Now, if Alex Cruz is out, you're going to see guaranteed minutes for Kobe White. I actually do like Kobe White at 5'4", especially if Cruz is out. If Cruz is in, still fine, but would prefer Cruiser out. And I think Torrey Craig is a solid value at 4K. We don't have a ton of value on this slate, so I do like Torrey Craig. Patrick Williams is viable as like a pivot off Torrey Craig, and then Ayu will get some run if Cruz is out as well. Interesting option, but I think my favorite play on this team is Kobe White, assuming Crusoe does not go, and if Crusoe's in, I still think Kobe's fine. And then the three main Bulls are in play. I guess my favorite there is Levine. All right, so it looks like Dame is going to be back. So Giannis up against Chicago. It's probably the best spend up on the slate if you can afford them. Like I said, not a ton of value, but it's a 4-game slate. It's Giannis. The raw points are going to matter. So really like Giannis there at the top. Dame, I think is priced about right. Middleton's still on a limit, but the price has come down. Tough for me to go there personally. Brook Lopez 5'6", just indifferent, playable. And then with Crowder out, like we're probably going to see possibly more run for like Bobby Portis, Pat Connaughton, maybe even some Beauchamp. I think Portis is very interesting for tournaments. Campaign's out of play with Dame back. Malik Beasley just there for me. Sometimes he won't close as well. So minutes 4, definitely low. But if he is hitting shots, he does have this type of ceiling. So don't mind him for value. And then, like I said, I think like Connaughton, Bobby Portis, I think these guys are interesting. So like them for value. All right, Cleveland, another team I'm really high on. With no Okoro, they are just running a really tight rotation. So pulling up the rotation from the 11th, I mean, look at the minutes. Like Donnie, 36. Karis LeVert, 36. Garland, 36. Jared Allen's still on the limit, but Mobley, 31. I think he might have gotten to foul trouble. I'm not entirely sure. But they're going to run really tight rotation here. So I like Donovan Mitchell quite a bit. I think Evan Mobley's fine. I really like Darius Garland, even at 7.2K. I think Karis LeVert's even playable. Don't love the price point, but playable. Max Strus, I'm fine with. Seems very safe. Like, these guys are going to play huge minutes, so I don't mind all of these Cleveland guys. I think Jared Allen's solid, too. If he's going to continue to play around 30 minutes, he is too cheap at 5'7", so I don't mind him. He'll probably be low-owned. And then I'm not going to go to anyone off the bench with how tight of a rotation they're running. Excuse me, guys. Sacramento at Cleveland, not the best spot. De'Aaron Fox is doubtful. So once again, Sabonis is going to run the show offensively, going to play huge minutes, going to stuff the stat sheet. I like him as a spend up. Keegan Murray, I was high on him last slate. He absolutely nuked. All it took was one good shooting game. I like his ceiling quite a bit once again. Malik Monk, we know what he's going to do. He's probably going to play 30 minutes off the bench. He's a stat sheet stuffer. I think he's solid. Kevin Huerter at 5'9", back-to-back 39, 34 minutes. If they're going to continue to give him this much run, he is still a solid play, so I like Huerter. And then Harrison Barnes, just fine. And then Keon Ellis has been starting. I do think he stands out as a pretty good value. Not going to be the highest usage guy, but we don't have a ton of value on this slate. So hopefully this helped you guys. I will talk to y'all in the next one.